It's also kind of biting me in the ass that I use this very new and novel AI tax prep tech. They do an amazing job.
New and novel, or just lazy and efficient?
No, it's not lazy. They use a certified CPA. They just don't offer any other services. So I'm like, hey, I need you guys to write me a letter. They're like, nope, we don't write letters. So what's up, you guys? All right, today the topic is how to get in and out of the gym fast, how to get your fitness in quick, how to get abs in 20 minutes. JK. But on a serious note, we're going to talk about training, maximizing your time in the gym, and how to make the most of your time in the gym. I would say we could probably work through this in kind of like a tiered format where we start with like maybe I'd say let's start with the very basic. You're someone who doesn't have a lot of time. You're a dad. You run a business, whatever. You just want to get in, get out, get as fit as possible. What should you take into consideration? And then we'll work down to like a competitor who's trying to train 2 hours a day or even 3 hours a day with a full-time job. How do you manage that? So we'll start with like the most basic-ish.
Yeah, so I think we should start out on just like you have an hour and that's it. That's all you have. Okay. Obviously, I think the best thing that you could do is get around people and go to an affiliate and jump into a class. I think most affiliates do a good job of putting a lot of fitness into an hour. If you're not able to do that and you're just working out on your own, if you're like me and like today, I coached the 8 and the 12, ran some errands in between those two classes, and I just did the class workout after the noon class before the show. If you have an hour to go, first thing, make your warm-up an actual workout. So make your warm-up a very easy, like Metcon type thing. Like I would say like do a 10-minute every minute on the minute, pick a machine, and then pick something that's just going to generally get your whole body warm, whether it's like empty barbell thruster, whether it's wall balls, whether it's a burpee variety, but just do like 1 minute, a certain number of meters, and then on the other minute, some sort of full body moving workout that doesn't require you to warm up for, because at the end of the 10 minutes, you can go right into whatever you want to do. If you want to lift, if you want to do a higher level skill, something especially this time of year when it's cold, I really think it's important to get a sweat before you try to start moving anything heavy.
Right. I'm a big proponent of, if you don't have a lot of time, let's say you have less than an hour, I'm a huge proponent of picking movements that you like to do and specific to you as an athlete, you don't have to warm up very much for, and just creating a 20 to 30 minute workout that you build the intensity into. And then by the end, you can be hitting like max effort intensity. For example, for me today, upper body pulling is not something I have to warm up very much. Neither is lunging. For whatever reason, lunging, it could be heavy. I just don't really have to warm it up much. So I got into the gym. I knew I wanted to do some pegboard, some sandbag lunges, and maybe a machine. So I got on the bike erg. I biked 15 calories. I went onto the pegboard. I hung from the pegboard for like 20 seconds. I then did like 15 lunges in place while I was talking to some people for the class. Then I went over to the 150 sandbag. I picked it up, took it over to my spot. I did a couple lunges with it, put it down, and then I did 10 rounds for time, 2 pegboards, 10 sandbag walking lunge steps with 150, 15 cal bike erg. And I just kind of held the same pace through 7 rounds and then started to build till it really started to hurt toward the end. And then I left. And that's like a 20-minute workout. For me, I really enjoy, hey, this is what I like to do. And within reason, right? Like with everything at your fingertips in a CrossFit affiliate, or, even potentially in a garage gym, you have so many options. Don't be redundant with it, but say, hey, I like this. I like this. I like this. I'm going to do this today. And then the next day say, I did that yesterday. I need to do something different, but you can still do things that you like. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point to not beat yourself up over something that you're not good at, because typically the things you're not good at, you have to mentally prepare more for, and you have to prepare your body more for. Like if I'm going to do something that requires a really, really technical overhead positioning, that's going to take me a while to warm up for. Typically if I need to warm my shoulders up, I'll do handstand walk, or I'll do burpees, or I'll do wall walk. So do something that I don't have to warm up for at all. Another really, really good thing that I recommend people do, especially this time of year, is to save your lifting for the end of your session. Because I think in general, whether you do go wad, whether you do crossover symmetry protocol, whether you do banded distractions, whether you do like hip halo work to prime your squat, generally you have to do a lot less of that if you've already gotten your heart rate up and you're already really opened up and breathing. So I think you should save the heavy. If you're going to go heavy, save it for the end of your session.
Yep. Another good option, if you're someone, and maybe this isn't a everyday thing for you, but some days you're really, really limited on time, mental energy, whatever, pick a machine only workout. You don't have to warm up at all, and you can get crazy amounts of intensity, or a machine and burpee, or a machine and a box jump, like things like that you just really don't have to warm up for. For me, like toes to bar, that's something I don't ever have to warm up. So if I'm cut on time and I want to do something core, I GHD as well, I just really don't have to warm those up. So I can always do those. Pick movements, kind of like JR said, that you don't really have to warm up very much. If you're really limited on time, pair it with a machine. A great option, something that I like to do is like work rest intervals, work for 2 minutes, rest for 1 minute for 10 rounds. And there's a 30-minute workout, and you can get a crazy amount of intensity. And say your buy-in is, say you're like, all right, I know I want to do 150 GHDs today. All right, 2 on, 1 off for 10 rounds, 15 GHD sit up buy-in, max rep biker calorie in the time remaining, or anything like that. Like the options are limitless. I think you guys should prioritize things that you don't have to warm up a ton, things that you enjoy doing so that you'll get intensity and have fun doing it, and formats that are easy to ease into. It's really hard to really maximize a 7-minute workout if you've got 30 minutes to do it. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, typically the more intense, as in like the shorter the workout, the longer the warm up needs to be. Right. So, you got 30 minutes, you can either warm up for 23 minutes and do 7 minutes of, thrusters and burpees, or you can warm up for 7 minutes and do a 23-minute workout. I mean, usually that's the way it goes, one or the other. Something you said that I thought was really good about lifting. In my opinion, if you're going to lift heavy, for most people, the less dynamic, the less the warm up needed. So like if you want to go heavy, typically if you deadlift, squat, or bench press, it's going to take a lot less warming up than if you're going to do a snatch variation or a clean and jerk variation for most people.
Yeah, I agree. And then I guess on the other side of that, because squatting takes a long time for me to warm up, like I bias, and I'm not squatting a ton right now. I bias a lot towards like the power Olympic lift. So I think also can play into your biases in terms of your specific body. If you have things like, this is a good point. Where is this? Oh, here we go. Steven Feister. Before actual warm-up, I try to hit the little tweaks or boo-boos I've acquired, mostly because I'm 36 and feel old. That's a great point. If you're not competing, you don't have to stress about hammering your weaknesses. Unless you really enjoy doing that, which I'd venture to say, unless you are trying to win something or compete, you probably don't enjoy just doing things that you suck at or hurt to do. Don't do them. Do things that feel good and that get you really fit. And then you don't have to warm up a ton. I think that's critical for people with a really short amount of time. Now, what about the other end of the spectrum?
What end is that?
You're like trying to compete. You're trying to make an in-affiliate semifinal and then make the games. You work a full-time job. How much do you think is a minimum that you need to be training a day?
I think if you have a good base, if you have an older training age, meaning you've accumulated a ton of volume, your movement pattern is really good, so you don't have to spend a lot of time doing movement work. You don't have to spend a lot of time doing accessory stuff because your body is pretty tolerant to a lot of reps, to a lot of load. In my opinion, you can do 90 minutes and be okay. But I think that if you're training that less amount of time, that it needs to be like 70% to 30%. You're addressing the things that are gonna maybe hold you back. So you're training that much to weakness as you are to strengths. If you're limited on time, if you're not limited on time, then it's a completely different percentage breakdown. But in general, you need to be doing the things that you don't want to see in a live competition or an online competition more than you need to be doing things that you're really, really good at already.
Yeah, I would agree. I also think the way you warm up, kind of what JR hinted at with, people with a really limited amount of time is critical. I think if you're an athlete who wants to be competitive and you have a limited amount of time, it's even more important to do a workup, so to speak. It's kind of a mixture between a workout and a warm up. My coach used to have me do that, but it could be something super simple like 5 rounds of a 20 cal row, 100 double unders. You could do V-ups and crossover singles, some jogging, whatever, but something that warms you up while still kind of hitting a metabolic pathway, getting you a little out of breath. It's not just 30 minutes of go WOD and then all you've done is go WOD. You haven't done anything that makes a massive impact on your fitness.
Yeah, that's good.
What do you think of formats for people that are trying to compete that also are limited on time? Like, do you think, is there a percentage breakdown on how much an athlete should be doing intervals versus for time workouts versus AMRAPs versus chippers?
Well, something I feel really strongly about, and I'll continue to beat this drum, is that if fitness is holding you back, you shouldn't be spending time addressing strength or skill. So if fitness is holding you back, that is the thing that you need to be doing the most of.
And
couplets, triplets, intervals, longer but still intense, like what people say, cardio sessions or whatever. I just think that it's really silly for people who can't do well on 3 out of the 4 workouts in the open because they're fitness limiting to worry about the high level skill and the strength. So in general, I think someone, and I mean, you probably do this with the compete track or maybe with the 60 track. To me, the easiest way to get bang for your buck is you do something that you said your coach would prescribe to you as a warm up, but it's actually kind of a workout. Then you would go into your lifting. Then you would go in to your for time or AMRAP. Like that's the way that I would recommend doing it. If you're going to do skill work, I think there's a way to layer it into the warm up. I also think you can do an EMOM of like 10 minutes or less for a specific skill you want to work on, most likely after you get done with your primary conditioning session. Do you think if you let's just say let's say ring muscle up is really popular for people. When you have a limited amount of time, do you think it's better to train that movement how you're going to see it in a competition with interference under fatigue? Or do you think that, let's just say you're limited by the sheer capacity of it, you just get tired really easily? Do you think it's better to just build volume and try to build capacity within not a workout setting? Which one
I think that's an important distinction, is why you need to work on them. If it's your technique is really bad versus you have good technique, you just can't do a lot. I think if your technique is really bad, then you shouldn't be doing them in workout settings as much as you're doing them on their own, kind of in a skill development session. Whereas if you have sound technique and you're pretty much efficient on the reps and you just don't have good capacity for volume in workouts, then you should just be doing them in workout settings. And you can kind of disguise that too. Like you can do like that interval format I was just talking about. You can start with a muscle up coming off of rest and then finish with intensity on another movement to kind of play with easing into doing the reps under intensity. But I definitely think it's highly dependent on what part of the muscle up's holding you back: skill, efficiency, or actual capacity or stamina with the movement, like being able to do a lot of reps when you're tired.
With someone that you coach individually that's high level, well, let's just say high level is they're going to be competing now at an affiliate semi, so they're going to be top 1% in the world, or they're going to compete in an in-person competition to go to the games. That's high level. If there's a specific, let's just say a skill, how many times a week do you have them do it? Like, or is there just a number of reps? Like, let's just say for a female and legless rope climbs, do
once a week.
Once a week. Let's say a female and regular rope climbs.
Probably still once a week.
What about muscle ups?
Bar once a week and ring once a week. I still don't. And maybe one day they have some strict muscle up accessory and another day they have kipping muscle ups.
So let's change the question. what's the minimum number of reps they're accumulating in that one session?
30, I think, for ring.
Okay.
Minimum. And probably
I was curious if you say one session, if you're like, well, yeah, it's minimum 30, or it can be twice a week, but maybe once is like 20 and another time is like 20 or whatever.
I think it's minimum 30 at that level in a session, unless it's a workout and it's 20 in one sitting, which I don't think that's not a typical training piece I would write where you know what I mean? Like there are better ways to get better at doing.
Like 23.1, like 14.4, where you're doing 20
right
at the end of a workout. Yeah.
Right. Interesting. I don't know. I also think
what about using every minute on the minute format more often than not if you have time constraints for a competitor or not, whether you're doing strength battery work, whether you're doing skill work, whether you're doing just like really, really hard, hey, this is an EMOM, but it might as well be an AMRAP type thing. How do you feel about doing that? Do you think that helps people get more in because they know that they're really like tied to that clock the whole time?
Yeah, I like that format a lot, but it doesn't always have to be every minute. It can be every 2, every 3, every 4 for X. It can be 2 on, 2 off, 1 on, 1 off, 130 on, 130 off, 30 on, 30 off. You can play with the time domains and the intensities and the reps and the volume, etc. Whether it's an open every 4 for 10 or 2 on, 2 off for 10. Like there's a lot you can do with that, and I do really like holding people accountable to a clock. But I also think for most people that are trying to be competitive that aren't maybe at that in affiliate semi level or in-person competition level, and maybe they are and they're just not top 10, I don't think those people are good enough to avoid doing couplets and triplets and 20-minute AMRAPs either. So like, for example, on Compete, maybe almost every training day for Compete, one of their workouts is some form of interval format, whether it's an EMOM, which is an interval, or every 2 or every 4 or every 8 for 4, etc. To accumulate volume, but also to accumulate like volume of repetitions, but also volume of intensity. So time under tension at a particular intensity, heart rate, speed, pace, whatever. But then also they need to hit like a chipper or a couplet, I think, or a triplet or something classic that it's a format they're going to see. Because maybe they don't have that competition experience of, oh, I know how this 3-round for time workout's going to feel, 50 wall balls and 50 burpee box jump overs. How should I approach that? Well, if you only ever do intervals and you don't know how to approach that, not everyone is Dallin and James Sprague, where you have the experience and depth of knowledge and self-awareness to know what you should pace, how this workout's going to feel, etc. A lot of people need to feel that.
Yeah, this is definitely more shows down the road, but if they stick to their guns, which I think that they will, and they still program the open the same way, whether they do 3 weeks with 4 scores or they just do 3 weeks with 3 scores, if they're whittling down to 1%, right? So not 25%, which is what it's been, what it was last year, and then 10% the year before for quarterfinals. You better believe that like you are getting classic CrossFit. So whether you're someone that's just trying to say, hey, I'm going to do the community cup or whatever after the open, or you're going to try to make that top, 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 in the world for an affiliate semifinals, the meat and potatoes still has to be CrossFit, couplets, triplets, high intensity, 20-minute AMRAPs. I think that's a conversation for another show, but it still blows my mind how many people don't go 20 minutes at least once a week. And I'm not saying like 1 on 1 off for 10 rounds. I'm saying a true 20-minute 4-time or AMRAP effort. Yeah, that's a huge mistake. And if you're whittling down to 1%, you're only doing 3 weeks, I find it really hard to believe that there's not going to be a workout that's 15 plus minutes straight.
Right. I agree. I do think that there are times of the year where you can do less of that. I think around this time of the year, you need to start doing it every week without a doubt. I think there are times of the year where you can spend a lot more time doing intervals so that when you get to this time of the year, you have kind of a base capacity or an ability to operate during that 20-minute time period of particular intensity. For me, that 20-minute workout this morning was, maybe one of the first I've done in a couple, I don't know. It's one of the more rare workouts I've done that's just 20 minutes straight through over the past few months. And it was nice, heart rate 170 the whole time, 160, 170, 180. It's a good workout.
And I don't like to do a ton of predictable blocks or cycles or whatever as far as the affiliate programming goes, but something that Crash and I guess the WPTH subscribers are going to get is starting in January. I love to start doing open mashup type workouts, whether they're every 2 minutes, whether they're EMOM, where I'm really taking old open workouts, old combinations, because those are still some of the best and most potent, and just putting the members in a situation where they have to feel that combination, but maybe not at that all out 100% intensity. And I think there's a lot of value mentally, more so than physically, that when they see thrusters and burpees, they know it's going to hurt, but they're like, hey, we did thrusters and double unders. We did that thruster and burpee. We 14.5. We did the, whatever. They start to look back on the things they've done over the last few months, and they feel like they're a little bit more prepared. Whether they are or not, who knows? But at least they've been exposed to those combinations a little bit more often.
Yeah. This is Top GNZ. Taylor, where can I buy your pull-up program? That's on the website, trainsentinel.com. You can get the conditioning program too if you suck at cardio. CrossFit, just a bunch of Cindy or add higher skill? I think Cindy's a great workout. Like, it's again often overlooked. You can get so much intensity, and for an athlete who's like bigger, there are a lot of bigger guys in the sport right now who struggle more with body weight movements. Doing pull-ups, push-ups, and air squats is a really good way to get good at moving your body through space. But that being said, higher skills are important. For example, again, the workout I did this morning, I had pegboards, and my goal was if you're going to do a 20-minute workout, I think you need to write it in a way where you are moving consistently for 20 minutes and able to maintain an intensity or build your intensity. You shouldn't be writing a 20-minute workout that you're just going to be stopping and staring at things for periods of time. So for that pegboard lunge biker workout, I would say I had each implement maybe 10 to 15 feet apart. And I did all my pegboards unbroken. I walked right to the sandbag, picked it up, lunged. I didn't step up. I stepped through every lunge, dropped the sandbag, walked to the bike, biked at a particular pace. It was like a 1250, nothing crazy, right back to the pegboard, 2 unbroken reps, etc. And there was no place of rest in the workout. I think that's what you need out of a 20-minute workout like that.
Yeah, in CrossFit, like something that I think of when I think of a 20-minute AMRAP as far as getting prepared for the open, I think of something like 20-minute AMRAP, 5 shuttle runs, 10 burpee box jump over, anyhow, 15 wall balls. 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15. Now, most people are going to be either they're going to start running slowly, or they're going to start breaking the wall ball, or they're going to start moving through mud on the burpees. But that's good because typically in a 20-minute AMRAP, if it's something like a triplet, it's usually going to pick people off in different spots. And I think something that's really gassy like that, where the only thing that's really holding you back is your base conditioning, is a good way to go about it. I think if you're doing a 20-minute AMRAP of a bunch of high skills, unless you're an elite level competitor, it's kind of silly because you're resting 10 of the 20 minutes probably.
Right. Yeah. You shouldn't be doing 20-minute workouts with rest. And cyclical is great. What do you like in terms of shorter sprints? We were just talking about making a long workout something that is like that 20-minute AMRAP, something cyclical that you continue moving for 20 minutes. I think you should approach, again, training up into the open sprint workouts kind of similarly. I think you should pick movements that you can go all out on, because we don't take the opportunity to go all out very often. So for example, for me, if I write an all out workout that has 205 thrusters and seated legless rope climbs, well, there's not much point to that to me because I suck at heavy thrusters, and it's just going to be a seated legless workout and I rest on the barbell forever. Whereas if the workout's 50 cal echo bike, 50 American kettlebell swings with a 50, that's a completely different story. I think people need to feel that a lot too. And I think that's often overlooked.
Yeah. So I think if you're going to go really, really fast and intense, skill level probably needs to be lower. Load, if not at least movement pattern, technicality needs to be very much decreased. It doesn't need to be something that requires a lot of thought or a lot of precision. But I think that a descending rep scheme is the best way to do it. I think there are ways you can do whatever, you do 5 rounds of time of 10 and 10, or you do 6 rounds of time of 6 rounds for time of 12 and 12. But I think like your classic 21 down to 3 or your 15 down to 3 by threes, something with a descending rep scheme is usually the best way to keep intensity throughout the whole workout.
Yep. Howell and Taylor, how do you recommend somebody incorporate your conditioning ebook into the 60 track? I think if you're somebody who really needs to work on cardio, maybe add those workouts in once a week to start and keep the Thursday conditioning, because they'll be like, if you think of all the 200 workouts in that book, or 212, a lot of them are from previous Thursdays. So don't replace a current Thursday with one of those workouts. Do the current Thursday and maybe add that workout in on a Monday or a Sunday. And if you feel great just adding one extra a week and you are feeling juicy, then sometimes maybe add in a second shorter one, like one of the 20-ish minute ones. What's this new logo up here? WPTH.
Yeah. Taylor thought we needed to put who it was written by on the bottom.
We fuck with a PH.
As if I'm not the other co-host.
Okay, dude. Well, it's just
affiliate programming for just athletes and then also for coaches, those 2 tracks. It'll come out in January. We'll get the sign up going. I might around Christmas time go ahead and open it up for the first month, just to make sure that all the transactions are being processed correctly and that people are getting welcome emails and they're able to download the app with no issues and all that kind of stuff. And then the last thing will be the 8 track, which is just going to be $8 a month, 8 workouts. Could be a workout like we're describing today. That would be like a classic workout. The 33, 27, 21, 15, 9 of, hang snatches and toes to bar, something like that. Something that's really high intensity, but short on time. I don't really I hate the term finisher, but just something that you want to add to your training session. If you didn't have time to get something in earlier in the week, but you don't have as much time to do it and you need to find something short to get in, it'll be those kind of workouts.
Sick. Can you address this? Read the name.
Augustus Link. How would JR deal with an affiliate member who broke a sandbag, proceeded to dump sand all over the place while continuing to use his broken sandbag? It's an interesting question. I was actually there, and I witnessed the whole situation. His wife was also there, witnessing the whole situation. Saw some sandbag come out the side, turned and looked at me. I probably pursed my lips and did this with my eyebrows. Watched the second one happen. More sand coming out, and at that point, I don't know if the workout's almost over. But I do know, as Quentin McQueen pointed out.
Was this me?
The equipment room is right next to where this gentleman was working out.
This wasn't me.
So he could have just walked in there and gotten Taylor. A similar situation happened to Taylor at Crescendo, actually.
Dude.
But this is
that
not.
wasn't to my sandbag. It was a different guy's sandbag.
This is not Taylor we're talking about. But yeah, it was actually a really funny situation. That sandbag, in all honesty, is as old as the old gym. Like, that's one of the first sandbags I ever got in CrossFit 150.
Was that Jason?
Yeah, he posted a reel on it. It's actually a funny reel. But yeah, that's what happened. I mean, all we did was the workout ended. We cleaned up the sand. I used the sand to put in another sandbag that needed sand. So it wasn't a big deal. It happens all the time. It happens all the time in the gym. People break sandbags all the time.
Queefer. Yeah, I get yelled at least 3 times a week to clean something up by Andy. Or it's not even yelling. It's just like, yeah, hey, I cleaned that up for you. No big deal.
while you're laying down with your your legs crossed.
Hey, are you done with that?
In your rest position.
Hey, are you done with that?
Hey, what's Kill Taylor tomorrow?
Oh, it's a good one. I'm not telling it on here.
Okay.
Ever. Maybe we should do a show programming Kill Taylor.
No, we gotta have Sevon on here because the whole reason why you ever lose is because he doesn't want workouts over like 7 minutes long. I've been saying
Yeah,
that
I know,
since
and
day
that is
one.
really not my niche at all. I would say more so I'm like a 20-minute guy.
Agreed.
Or at least a 15 to 20-minute guy.
The longer the workout, the harder it's going to be to beat you. Yes, I agree.
And including with skills, like if the longer, like the more volume you have to accumulate, definitely get better and better and better. When I am not the type of athlete who's like, I'm not bad at cycling things quickly, but I am not like, I wouldn't call me a Tola type athlete where I am great at sprint power output trying to cycle something quick, unless it's again a very niche type of workout like power snatch, burpee, box jump over. That's a different story. I'm really great at both of those movements and I can move them very efficiently, but and like muscle ups too and things, the more volume it is, the better.
Speaking of burpee box jump over, the class workout today was for time partition as desired: 30 burpee box jump over, 30 inches, 30 overhead squat, 135/95, 30 ring muscle ups. If you had to do that workout as fast as you could do it, how would you do it? Like just 3 rounds of 10 10 10 for someone like you? Could you just do that unbroken and fast with the burpee and the muscle ups? 3 rounds of 10 10 10.
I try to probably just do all of the ring muscle ups and then go directly to overhead squats and then finish with burpee box jump overs maybe. I don't know.
So you would just do it as a true 30 30 30 chipper?
Do you think that would be faster? I feel like that might be faster. There's less transitions. I mean, you could squat the overhead squats probably at a very, I would say a nice, like not a rushed pace, and you can almost catch your breath on.
I mean, for you, 30 overhead squat is like just a minute of breathing, right?
At 135, right? Which
Yeah,
I feel like that's why I feel like that'd be. But I'm not also accounting how 30 burpee box jump overs feels after 30 unbroken overhead squats after 30 muscle ups. Like I bet my legs would just be completely fucked. So maybe that pace, but I don't know. I always feel like I can really hurt on burpees to finish. So maybe it's 20 step up burpees and then the last 10 I jump up, jump down. But even a step up, jump up burpee box jump over is not really much slower than a jump up one.
No, not at 30 inches. Yeah. No, it's not. Yeah, it was a really good like choose your own adventure because 30 is such a daunting number on the rings for people. But like I told people, hey, if you want to do Isabel, do 30 rounds of 1-1-1, but I don't recommend that you do that. You know what I mean? I did so I put the bar on one side of the rings and I put the box on the other side, and I did 5 rounds of 6-3-6-3. So I did burpee, walk to the rings, do 3, keep walking, do 6, walk back to the ring. So I just kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like
I like that.
I still rested too much, but
here's a workout you'll like.
All shoulders. So
Bryson actually came up with this. It was every 2 minutes for 10 sets. It's the first time I've done burpee box jump overs in forever. I've been doing a lot of burpees. I just haven't done those for whatever reason. But it was every 2 minutes for 10 sets, 9 burpee box jump overs, 15 calorie echo bike. And it was just a nice sprint interval. It was very, very, very
24.
potent. Yeah, it's 24.
Yeah, that's stinky.
I like workouts like that. That's the workout you don't have to warm up for. Like I really like workouts like that.
Yeah, that's good. What else on like maximizing your time?
Yeah, don't scroll. Somebody put it in the comments like to start the show. Don't scroll on your fucking phone. I put my phone away when I get into the gym and I work out and I don't look at it. And if I'm doing a big session, I don't look at it between workouts. I do my best not to.
Yeah, and I think just giving yourself minute checkpoints like is really, really smart. So giving yourself minutes in the hour or in the 90 seconds to where you're going to be moving to the next thing at minute 20 and you're going to be moving to the next thing at minute 35 or at minute 45, or by an hour in, you need to be done with the first 2 things. Like I think doing that starting out when you write out your whiteboard, write it out with some times on there so that you kind of keep yourself honest before you look up and you're like, hey, I'm halfway through and I only have 10 more minutes.
I didn't realize if you click this side button on the mouse accidentally, it means back. So I didn't hear anything you said. Augustus, how are you supposed to see the program without your phone? You look at your phone and write it all on a fucking whiteboard, and then you shove your phone up your ass for the rest of your training session. And then you can't see your phone, bro. Power hours are good.
See this? They are. That's probably the best way, honestly, is like, hey, 10-minute of like a workout type warm up. And then by minute 20, you're doing whatever strength you're doing. And then by minute 40, you're hitting a really hard workout and you lay on the ground for 5 minutes and then you go home. Like, that's probably the best way.
I'd argue it'd make the front squats easier, dude. You're giving yourself a little more hip width, especially if you put it in that way, kind of giving yourself some flexion gapping in that region, wider base of support, I would say.
Hey, do you ever do reverse drag with the torque tank? Do you have straps for it, or do you just hold the handles and just
almost all the time? I have straps.
Yeah. I did one today that was good. It was every 3 minutes for 30 minutes. 10 wall balls, 20 pound to a 12. 50-foot reverse drag, 10 line facing burpees, 50-foot reverse drag back. And it was about 2 on, 1 off for 30 minutes.
Nice.
And it's good because the volume is low on the wall ball. The chunks are small on both movements. So really it just becomes my legs are really burning on this sled the whole time.
You know what I told Bryson that I wanted to start doing with him, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get him to buy in, but I was like, hey, once a week, I used to do this with Andy, but I used to do this on my own as well. I would just do a workout that was so fucking hard and grueling where like the only point of doing it was to basically not quit when you wanted to so much, like an hour fucking workout. So I told Bryson, I was like, hey, once a week, we need to do this. And our first two options are, 1,000 burpees for time split between the two of us. And then the other was a mile walking lunge. And he didn't respond. No response. I was just going to say we could do 50 rounds. You go, I go, like 50 each, 10 burpees. So yeah, that's what a pussy would say, Mason. Actually, that's what a soggy, I won't go there. But there's a lot to be said for stuff like that. And I kind of miss doing that. I really do miss doing that. Oh, geez. Hour 30 workout. That's probably what we should start doing on Kill Taylor. Because a lot of times, no, not on. I mean, like days that I do Kill Taylor. I find myself doing Kill Taylor and then not much the rest of the day. But if I just did Kill Taylor and something like that, that'd be really nice. Oh, could I break 160 burpees in 7 minutes? Definitely. My 100 for time is 4:09. So I feel like I could do another 60. Oh, I don't know. What do you think? I feel like I can. That's the Panchik record from.
Depends on the time. I mean, it depends on the type. If you're doing the touch, to me, that's still really impressive to do the 6.
Oh, super hard at a 6-inch target. If you're talking
like
about
a line facing or what bar facing is so much faster in my opinion than those. Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. I was initially this episode was gonna be me versus Coach L programming. But I fucking dropped that fucking.
Hey, this is I'm going to ask you a personal question right now. This is actually funny that you pulled up that because I was wondering, I was like, you know what? I should just dig in a little bit and ask Taylor about this. Because I didn't know any of what was going on yesterday until a few people texted me about it.
Of course people text you about it. People love to fucking talk. Okay.
Oh, this is a long
Coach L doesn't have one of these.
This is a long conversation.
Okay.
I'm going to try to make it fast and we can expound upon it next week.
Maybe my CPA will be doing that later.
When is it okay? Where's the line drawn for
taking people's workouts?
For programming a workout for more than one person?
Oh, okay. I think the line is drawn at you wrote the workout. You've possibly even done the workout. You know that it's a fantastic fucking workout and you want these specific athletes to feel that stimulus that you felt. That's where I think the line is.
You think you have to do it yourself to dose it out to others?
I have definitely given, If
you don't do every workout you write. Like for instance, if you write a workout,
I'm talking about an individual. I'm talking about
if you write a workout from Morgan.
Right. I'm not. This is what I'm talking about is if I write an individual custom one-to-one workout. That's what I'm talking about. If I'm writing a class workout or a workout for 60 or compete, sometimes there are workouts that I haven't done as written, but I've done variations or forms, or I've done a workout and I'm like, ooh, it would be better this way. I'm going to give it to compete this way. Or that was too hard for me. I definitely need to change it for compete or 60. Or I want them to do these two movements. I've done so many workouts like this. They're going to do this. That's fine. But if someone's paying you for custom programming, one-on-one individualized programming, in my opinion, it is only acceptable to give them a cookie cutter piece. Is if you've done it and you think fuck that, is if you've done it and you know that the stimulus is pertinent to what they need to work on, or you know that the stimulus is pertinent to what they need to work on. And
I was going to say, I don't think you need to do it yourself to know what the stimulus is going to be. If you're a good coach, you know that. But
I also think that if you've done the workout, you know way better what the stimulus is.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, and I think this is a good thing, and I'm curious to know what you think about it. Some training camps do like a throwdown where they host it every week. Everyone gets together. It doesn't matter who's their individual coach. They all do this one workout on Friday, kind of like the open, to build community, to throw down against other people, to brag to others, like to compete, all that kind of stuff. Do you think that, is there a time of the season where all of your individual athletes get a actual workout that isn't necessarily written for one of them, but it's written for all of them, where you can see, hey, here's this workout, I want you to do it, I'm giving it to these other 4 people, we need to see where you stand right now on something like this?
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you do it weekly? Do you do it?
No, I don't do it weekly. But I do write workouts where I'm like, okay, I know what good scores are on this, and I would like to see how this athlete does or responds to this workout for sure. But it is not the same as just writing a workout for one athlete called scapular endurance. That's the most retarded fucking workout I've ever seen in my life, and giving it to John Young, who can't do fucking 5 handstand push-ups and muscle ups in a row. That's not the same.
My reason for asking is because, if you write a workout and it's yours and I see it and I'm like, man, that's a really well-written workout. You know what? I think Lindsay would really, really benefit from doing that. I'm going to give it to her. Is the protocol me asking you for permission? Is the protocol me giving it to Lindsay and putting asterisk originally written by Taylor self? Is the protocol doing that and posting to social media, hey, I just want everyone to know that I programmed this workout for Lindsay, but Taylor really wrote it? What do you think people should do in that situation?
This is courtesy.
Just be like, dang, that's a good workout, but I can't use it because Taylor, that's his property. No, he owns it.
The protocol is acknowledging where it came from. So, for example, if I use a workout from main site, I say courtesy of CrossFit main site. If I use, I wrote a workout for 60 in 2 weeks, that's a variation of the 2023 quarterfinal workout with rowing, GHDs, and V-ups. I didn't like the fact that it was 1K and 500 meters and that it was 50 GHDs and 25 V-ups for 60. So I wrote 75 cal row for men, 50 V-up, 50 cal row for men, 25 GHD sit-up, and it was a 20-minute AMRAP. And in the notes, I'm going to say this is a twist on 2023 CrossFit quarterfinals workout number 2, whatever. If it's exactly, I put under the workout asterisk courtesy of CrossFit main site and put the dates, or courtesy of Rich Froning, whatever, or courtesy of Kiefer Lamy, whatever. And then if someone else posts it, they tag whoever. I did Saxon's workout. He posted this workout. It was 5 sets.
Sandbag step ups or something.
Yeah, Echo Bike sandbag step up. I was like, damn, that's a sick workout. I love that. I want to do it. So I did it and I tagged him. I didn't do it and fucking check out this savage workout. I did, implying that I made it up.
So you're saying if you're going to publicly give the workout love, or put it out there, then it needs to be acknowledged who was the rider, is what you're saying. But if you're just going to do the workout for you and you don't care about posting anything to social media, you're just like, yeah, it's a workout, I saw a workout. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of workouts available. Some are good, some are not good. And yeah, I mean, yeah, that's curious.
Ortega, L is the co-owner. He has owner in his bio of Brute. And I just have to say, I can't fathom how anyone would want to get into business with someone like him. If you watch he has the shiftiest fucking eyes I've ever seen. He's always looking around like fucking trying to tell a lie, trying to act like he's not lying.
What are you talking about?
Dude, you know exactly what I mean. When you get a sleazy vibe from someone, like they have a shifty vibe or shifty eyes. Like I can think of a lot of people I know like that. He's one of them. When I saw him on the podcast, I was like, dude, this dude is a fucking liar. And then I saw knowing everything I've known from other people, him just copy and pasting workouts. Like, dude, the instances of that is crazy when you're paying that amount of money.
I've been around Matt. I've been around Matt. Seems like a really cool dude. I've never been around Coach L, but what I can say is I've seen maybe one or two people that they've written for, and for that person, it looks good. Like I can't speak to it otherwise.
You've seen John Young's?
I can't speak to it otherwise. No, not John's.
But
again, listen. Here's the thing. Everyone has the different opinions on stuff like that.
Be a better judge of character, bro.
And I think it's and maybe that's just my naivety, just in general, to not be.
Well, you've never been around him, so I can't tell you the amount of shifty motherfucking lying ass motherfuckers I've been around, dude. I used to be one of them. I'm a recovering drug addict, bro. So
maybe you need to be more optimistic of people's
positive.
Intentions.
Fuck no, I don't. No. Yeah, JY used to be coached by him, and one time John Young sent me a workout that was it was an EMOM titled Scapular Endurance. And I believe it was written for some sort of female athlete that's really good at gymnastics that he was coaching at the time, and just copy and pasted into John's training. And I'm sure John got 4 minutes into the workout, and he's like, hey, John, hey, Taylor, I want to see how far you can get in this workout. I was like, I'd never do that workout. It's fucking dumb. So
yeah. The thing is too that
scapular endurance. What the fuck?
Yeah, but if it was a bunch of handstand push-ups, that's probably just what it was supposed to be targeting.
It was all sorts of shit. It was like 38 scap pull-ups, 42 freestanding handstand shoulder taps, 13 wall-facing strict deficit wall complex reps. It was the dumbest motherfucking thing ever, dude. It was crazy.
I will say though that there are methods that people have. There's ones that you have, especially like how you've said you like to do strength work a little bit differently than other people, where some people might use like a West Side method and some people might use like volume training and stuff like that. And I think this is a good thing. Unfortunately, I haven't embraced this from a competition programming standpoint, but I think it is good that people use different methods for different athletes, especially people who have done a lot of different kinds of stuff and it really hasn't worked, and they try to find different ways to do things. While Dubai is going on right now, and we're not talking about that today, but I still find it really I still find it really, really hard to accept the idea of like, hey, you go to this competition, they're a little bit biased to this. Hey, you go to this competition, you're probably not going to go long. Hey, you go to this competition, it's probably going to be all long workouts. Hey, you go to this competition, it's going to be really skill heavy. In the same way, I am a hypocrite, and I think that's good for training to get people better, to have different methods of doing things. But for competition, I feel really strongly that we should all be a little bit more aware of what's well-rounded and what's a good way of testing athletes and what's not. So,
yeah, I think competition should all be very well-rounded. I do think sometimes it's different coaches having different methods is one thing. Writing retarded workouts is another. And I'm just going to say that workout and others I've seen, that's like 10 times more retarded than even my quarterfinal workouts that we wrote when we did that on Shut Up and Scribble. Because looking back at those workouts, dude, but
that's the thing. You wrote those workouts you wrote those workouts not saying this is a dumb workout, let's write this. So what I'm saying is that's the good thing about what we are doing, is that it's really all to the writer. The writer may think it's good. At the end of the day, that's all that really matters. Is the writer think it's good and does it work? And if you don't like it, that's fine. And if I hate it, that's fine. But there have been workouts that you've written that I haven't liked, and there's been workouts I've written that you haven't liked. That's okay. It doesn't mean that they're not effective. But I think it is cool that we have the opportunity to do that, and it can all work for different people.
Right. But I think what we're missing here is I at no point was saying I don't like these workouts or they're not effective. I was saying people are paying you $375 a month and you're not giving them one-to-one custom individualized programming. You're copy and pasting and stealing from other places. Stealing in the sense that he pays Imam Code $20 a month and then gets what, a 20,000% return to just copy and paste all of those workouts into his 57 individuals. That's crazy. He sounds like he owes Brandon Luck a fat paycheck. What's up? Sorry.
Maybe he pays him out.
He doesn't. We'll move.
I lost my train of thought. Oh, what was the resolution to y'all's back and forth? Are you guys doing a programming competition? What's going on?
No, I won the programming competition. I wrote him a sick workout. He had no rebuttal, and it was over. Bounce on my dick 50 times for time, bro.
I was gonna say I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, well, he couldn't do the workout, so I won. I wrote the better workout. He didn't even try. The jokester said, I challenge you to a programming competition. Winner is the best and loser shuts the fuck up forever. And I said, all right, what's the competition? And his response was, nah, you don't get to come at me and then ask questions. And I was like, whoa, do you have a mental disorder? Retard? Because I'm pretty sure I have to know what the competition is in order to engage in it. And he couldn't give me an answer. And then I just fucking clapped him with a hilarious joke. And then it was over.
I think you should go about the dialogue like you did with Luca, where you just you talk it out and you agree to disagree.
No, I like Luca.
You can understand each other better than.
I don't think Luca's a liar or a cheater or a thief, and I don't think Luca is ruining the professional coaching industry. So no, I will not speak to him like Luca.
I think you should not just knee jerk believe what someone tells you all the time.
It wasn't just one person. And it was like 500 different people.
500.
I was, dude. Don't fucking laugh at me, dude.
Listen to me real quick. 500 people could tell me that they hate you and the stuff that you say. Does that mean I need to listen to them and stop being your friend?
No, because those are opinions. 500 people didn't tell me they hated L and the things that he said. 500 people said he charged me $375 a month to give me the same workouts he writes for Daniel
500
Brandon.
People told you that?
Yeah. 500 divided by 10 did. Same thing, bro.
That's still a lot.
I cannot even count the number of DMs I have from people saying, damn, he actually did this to me too. Or, ooh, I had this meeting with him and this was the price. And, this is what I was always getting told by people that my workouts were the same that they saw from this other athlete.
My question is though, too, do those people have a vested interest in you? Are those people now that you get programming for and are like,
nope.
Are those just complete strangers?
Yeah. I would say a vast majority are complete strangers. Yeah. Maybe a handful are on Sentinel and they pay $20 a month, but what's the vested interest to me? They're coming from paying someone $375 versus paying $20. You would think they would want you would think that they would not want to admit that they get more for $20 than they got for $375. They would, like, if I were in their shoes, I'd be like, damn, that $375 was worth it. Money well spent. But instead they're like, it wasn't.
Does it come down to a question of morality for you that you feel the need to like address and engage? Or is it just like, hey, I'm going to mess with this person?
Both. And I'll say that it's probably on a scale of 0, on like a 100% breakdown, it's probably 74% morality and 26%. I'm about to put this fucker on blast for just doing some stupid shit. And the morality aspect comes from my whole philosophy and business structure is I want to charge as little as possible for the absolute most value. Like, I want to give people the best fucking training they could ever get, the most fun workouts, the best results, the best coaching, the most access to a coach for the absolute cheapest price. Because I want to affect change on as many people as I can and have like real relationships. Like, that's why I love CrossFit. I love being an affiliate. I love Sentinel because I get to talk to people. I get to talk to people about squat therapy. I get to talk to people about their muscle ups. I get to help someone with their snatch or their clean and jerk. Like, I just love doing that. And I love helping people. And hey, when you get a fucking great cue from a coach and it fixes something, that feeling is amazing. You're like, holy fuck, it clicked. That's awesome. That's what I want to provide people with. And I fucking resent the notion that you can go and charge 20 times what I charge and give them something with 1/100th of the value and call yourself a good coach and to be reposted by CrossFit on their Instagram. That's a fucking joke, bro. It's a flat out fucking joke. And that fucking clown would get his ass clapped in a programming competition by me any day of the fucking week. Not just programming, but also fitness, motherfucker. I'm 1,000 times fitter than he'll ever be. And I know more about CrossFit. I've forgotten more about CrossFit workouts than he's ever fucking learned. And I'm a better coach, a better athlete, a better programmer, a better business owner. Fuck that guy. And I resent him taking advantage of it.
It's okay. And maybe it's just like,
you asked.
Maybe it's just taking years. No, that's okay. I mean, it's all good. We're just talking. Maybe it's just taking years to kind of have, I don't know, maybe just like this mindset or opinion, but like you can see that, or you can get told things about people, and it can like also like not fire you up. What I'm trying to figure out is where does it come? Where does it come from at its root? Like, is it more of like I can't believe that guy's making that much money.
Oh, I don't care about that.
I should be making that. No. Those people should be coached by me. I don't understand why people are, is it personal on that level? Because no. I mean, it would think about how many people that you see that, maybe they rub you the wrong way, maybe you whatever, man. and you're just like whatever, dude.
It's about taking advantage of people and actually helping people.
You don't think he or other coaches that you don't think are good coaches are helping a lot of people?
No, I think he's taking advantage of people. I think he's more so taking advantage of people than he is helping them. Stop that, JR. Fucking stop that. What do you charge an affiliate? What are you charging your affiliate for your memberships? Say
150.
That's half what he charges for his remote coaching to copy and paste from someone else. You think he helps people more than you help people? Like, do you think you affect greater change on people day in, day out than he does? And he charges twice for it. So what I'm saying is his rate of take advantageness, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is through the roof. He's taking advantage of people, dude. And that's what fires me up. I don't give a fuck about how much money he's making. Like, look at street parking. They make buku bucks, dude. They make fuck you money, but they help people. They are helping so many people. Fuck, that's cool. But this guy, you 57 individuals, I don't even want fucking 3 individuals. It's too hard. Yeah. It's too much. And this, like, I have 3 and that's the perfect amount. I don't want any more. I love them, all 3 of them. They're amazing people. And that's the time I can commit. This guy's got 57. You can't have 57 individuals and give them and actually help them. You're just a fucking liar. And taking advantage, man. And that's, it just,
a lot of people would just say, number one, you're worth what someone's willing to pay you. Period. That's what you're worth. You're worth what someone's willing to pay you. Whether that's a crazy amount of money or not, it doesn't matter what you think. It matters.
Do you think the federal government's worth? Do you think the federal government's worth what you pay them?
I'm not choosing to pay them for a service.
I get what you're saying, but I think people get tricked into thinking that is what the industry standard is, and that what they get in return is the industry standard. And I think that's what fires me up. I'm like, hey, people, getting copy and paste bullshit for fucking $1 bajillion a month is not the industry standard. That's just fucking bullshit.
But I believe too that some people are naive and ignorant, but everyone's not dumb. And I believe that if there are people that are doing things that like aren't good industry practices or best practices or whatever, that takes care of itself. No different than gyms that don't run really well. No different than gyms that don't program well. I think eventually people, if they try something else, will be like, geez, why did I do this for this long?
I don't always think that's the case. Look at all the massive business and corporations that engage in fucking terrible business practice. and never fucking see the consequences. I mean, imagine a fucking $1 million fine for Pfizer ain't putting them out of business, bro. You know how many fines they pay just to stay in business, to continue engaging in bad business practices and making trillions of fucking dollars? So I don't subscribe to the notion that just because he does things the wrong way, people will somehow see that and figure it out. I think he rides the wave of professional athletes into the rest of his subscriber base, whether that's individual clients or they have a subscription-based service at Brew. I don't know, but they 100% ride the backs of their athletes and only give attention to maybe 5 of them, probably less, maybe fucking 2 of them. And then everybody else is an afterthought and they fuck him in the ass.
This is kind of a change, not really change the subject, but just from what we started the conversation on, like repurposing Metcons for different athletes.
All right, we're off. This hit me where it hurts. Miss Burns, bottom line for me, you're giving him energy and attention he doesn't deserve. We're done talking about him.
Do you think that do you think strength protocols and progressions are okay
to recycle for different people?
For a ton of people. If like everyone needs to get a stronger squat, do you think it's okay to give 20 people that pay you the same squat progression?
No, I don't think 20 people are the same if they're paying for custom programming. They have different needs. They're not exactly the same.
So there should be not an individual thing. If it's just like it's like a blog, or if it's like something that you do, you think it's okay. That's one thing. Hey, everyone needs to squat. Everyone needs to get stronger. You guys all pay for this. You all get this. But if it's is it like the dollar amount where you think it switches for, okay, you pay me for individual? Because I think it's a weird thing to think about. Is it $100 a month? That is 150? Is it 200? Is it 250? Like what's the number that makes it be like, okay, I cannot bring myself to use anything I use for anyone else on this? It's
individual. Calling it individual. If you're paying me for individual, you're paying me to structure your training days to best fit your schedule, to put this here, make this longer, make this shorter, make this many reps and at this percentage or this RPE after this amount of volume of double unders, etc. Like that's what you're paying for. You're paying for that kind of, you're paying me to know that, hey, this gets flared up from that exercise too much, so we need to dose it in a particular amount, etc. You can't do that if you're just copy and pasting. You just can't. So you're paying me to figure out how to best maximize your training modified around your weaknesses and strengths and boo-boos and things you enjoy and your work hours and when you want to rest and when you want to train, and the equipment you have available to you, etc. Like that's individual programming. When you just copy and paste it, you don't. What? How do you do any of that? You know?
No, that was good. I actually wanted to do a whole show on that, but we did like 25 minutes. That was good.
All right. Well, I got to pee super bad, and I just paid this guy fucking $1 billion to write a CPA letter for me, so I got to review it. I'm a real business. I swear I'm not laundering money in Cambodia.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
See ya.
Peace out.